about opening the foot just a step? What are you actually talking about? Opening the foot before the
All right, John Askins and Tara Dreyer are back at Georgetown Eastview High School, where right now the Fayetteville Lions are trying to blow things open here in the top half of the fourth inning.
Yeah, so basically what just happened is a 2-run double by Damon Garrett put the Lions ahead 6-2, and that's going to force a pitching change as Chris Luna, who we saw in Thursday night's game, is going to take the mound.
Luna was the starter and loser. He's 3-2 on the year.
4 over the Lions, Peyton.
Luna pitched 4 innings in Thursday night's game, surrendered 5 runs off of 5 hits with 7 strikeouts. He's going to come into this situation here in the top of the fourth with 0 outs and Braden Rohde on third base. And like I said, 2-run triple by Rohde was the last play of this inning.
Nobody out.
Peyton Himmett's up to bat as Luna will be just outside. Make pitch count 1-0.
RBIs in the ballgame for Rohde 2, Garrett 2, and Kabbalah 1.
So those top 3 in the lineup, which we always have said are highly dominant. Pitch count's even now at 1-1. Peyton Himmett, who's at bat right now, is 2 for 2 so far today with 2 singles. He's been stranded on first base twice. Swing and a miss for Himmett as he goes down the pitch count 1-2. And he's hoping to kind of just keep things rolling for the Lions, who have run-rolled every opponent so far this postseason. And he's going to swing a miss as he strikes out. Chris Luna gets his first strikeout of the game with the first batter who faces, as Jacob Schley will come up to bat. Jacob Schley 0 for 2 so far today. He's going to pop. That's going to be the first baseman, Adam Cabellas, couldn't quite get the foul, so pitch count now sits at 0-1. Schley coming into this game with a .321 batting average this season.
One more batter. We're going to bat around here in the top of the fourth for the Lions.
And he's going to show bunt, and that is going to be a squeeze play that's going to bring Rohde home.
Nicely done by the defense, though. Garcia over to Davalos.
And now the score sits at 7-2 here in the top of the fourth inning with 2 outs. And we're kind of used to our scorecards getting a little, colorful.
Right.
With this Fayetteville Lions team. As we're going to circle back around to Lane Fritsch, who started things off this inning with a walk, was the first Lion to score. And pitch count's now 1-0 for Fritsch, who no longer has anyone on base. That ball is going to be outside for ball 2. So the Lions have so far scored 7 runs in the fourth inning alone for the 7-2 lead, as that ball is going to be outside once again for a 3-0.
And you would have never thought, looking at the first 3 innings of play, suddenly lightning has just struck for the Lions.
Yes, Absolutely. I mean, they were getting shut out by Desmond Lopez, who was doing a tremendous job of keeping them off the board. That ball's going to be outside for ball 3, as Luna's behind in the pitch count 3-0. But then, you know, it all started with 2 consecutive walks by Lane Fritch and Brendan Gilbreth, who led things off. And it's a full count now for Luna. And that's going to be a swing and miss to get out of the inning. So as we move into the bottom of the 4th inning, Bartlett has a lot of ground to make up as they are now trailing 5.
7-2, and Fayetteville explodes here in the top of the 4th. Stay with us, everybody. All right, we move into the bottom of the 4th inning. Terry, you did your job. 7 runs on 4 hits. There were no errors and nobody left on base. Keep it going.
Okay, so Garrett is going to come back onto the mound for the Fayetteville Lions as Danielle Juarez is coming up to bat for Bartlett. Juarez 0 for 1 so far. And that's going to be strike 1 for Garrett. A lot of times I think, you know, our pitching staff here in Fayetteville pitches a lot better when they have a significant lead. I mean, it kind of gets them pumped. Strike 2 for Garrett, who's only had 1 strikeout so far in this game, but he's now ahead in the pitch count 0-2. And that ball's going to be hit. Going to be fouled out, actually. It went just past the first base line. Pitch count stays at 0-2 for Danielle Juarez. As Garrett is going to wind up, and this ball is going to be right down the middle for a strikeout looking. As Danielle Juarez heads back to the dugout, Garrett's 2nd strikeout of the game.
Well, certainly a 7-run inning is going to fire up any pitcher, and you can tell that Damon Garrett now has got his 2nd win, and he can see a win coming.
Yeah, I mean, he surrendered 1 run, and actually he didn't really surrender it because they stole home. But now Adam DeVelos is up to bat, and once again, Garrett's ahead in the pitch count 0-1.
DeValos is 0 for 1. He struck out his only trip up.
So we're here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 1 out. This ball is going to actually hit DeVelos as he's going to get on base. Garrett's 3rd hit by pitch so far this game.
That's right. That's what we call effectively wild.
Yes.
After the hit by pitch, we have number 4, Sebastian Luna.
If you just joined us, it's 7-2. Fayetteville has come back after a 7 spot this last half inning. They had trailed during the first 3, 2-0, and now they're on top by 5.
So Sebastian Luna is now up to bat, and he's going to get a little infield dinger, which is he's going to run it out. It went from pitcher Garrett to Brendan Gilbreth, who couldn't quite make the play at first.
That's a base hit.
So that's going to be an infield single.
Hold down the line.
For Luna.
Number 7, Austin Gilbunt.
And that's going to put Adam DeVelos on second, Sebastian Luna on first for Austin Gilbunt to come into this situation and try to make it a little less than a 7-2 score. So that ball's going to be hit. That's going to be a solid base hit. Fielder's choice. Oh, no, he's going to make it to third. So that's going to be a single for Austin Gilbunt. Over to right field to load the bases for Bartlett. As their leadoff, Chris Luna is coming up to bat.
Austin Gilbunt's done great as the 9th place hitter for Coach Bates in this game. He's 2 for 2. He's got 2 stolen bases.
So Garrick's going to get into the windup, and he's gonna be just outside for ball 1 with the bases loaded. This inning started out with a strikeout, but then he hit Adam Davalos with a pitch, who's now sitting on third, and back-to-back singles juice the bases. That's going to be right down the middle for strike 1. Make that a ball. 2-0. As Garrick is, that's going to be popped up, and Hammett is not going to be able to get the ball for the first strike via a foul. So 2-1 pitch count with the 1 out on the board, as the top of the lineup for Bartlett is trying to get things rolling again, and Chris Luna. That's going to be singled, same spot to score a run, make that, and that's going to be a
throw out from Kabbalah.
Out at home plate, so just 1 run will score as the Lions now trail 7-3.
Nice throw from Reed Kabbalah, scored 7-2 for the second out of the inning. On the play, Gilbunt is going to go all the way around to third.
Number 3, Richard Medina.
So Luna's on second as Richard Medina comes up to bat. So, like you said, Chris Luna's having a great game for the Lions. Singled twice so far, and that ball's going to be popped up to shortstop, and that ball is going to run it out for another single. And another run will score as Bartlett's fighting back. This game is now at 7-4.
Number 5, Desmond Lopez up to bat.
2-run inning here for Bartlett as Desmond Lopez comes up to bat, looking to, well, he's not the pitcher anymore, so not necessarily help his own cause, but help his own cause from earlier. There's 2 outs, runners on corners. As Garrick is, we thought he kind of came into this inning pumped, but now 4 singles surrendered so far for 2 runs.
Well, the Bulldogs' backs are against the wall, and they're not,
they're not going to just lay down.
No.
They're not going to just lay down. So they worked hard to get to this moment here in regional quarterfinals. That's ball 1. The tying run up to bat, and Desmond Lopez. That's going to be a foul to even the pitch count at 1-1. Lopez so far is 0 for 1. He did have a sacrifice bunt in the first inning to score the first run for the Bulldogs. And he was hit by a pitch in the 3rd inning. Ball's going to be outside as Richard Medina is going to steal second base to put both runners now in scoring position with a 2-1 pitch count and 2 outs.
So that throw from Kabbalah home to get the runner is looming big here.
Ball's going to be outside for 3-1 pitch count. So that was Austin Gilbunt that was thrown out at home. Correct?
I believe it was Luna.
Oh, was it Luna? Okay, and that's going to be ball 4 as the bases are going to be loaded once again.
Bases loaded. Batting cleanup number 33, Al Garcia.
Al Garcia now up to bat.
It's a tough situation here now for Damon Garrett. He has 2 outs, can get out of the inning, but now the bases are juiced full of Bulldogs.
Yeah, and actually I think that is Chris Luna over at third base, Richard Medina at second, and Desmond Lopez at first, as Al Garcia is now up to bat for the Bulldogs, who are rallying pretty efficiently right now. That ball's going to be right down the middle for strike 1. We've only seen Garrick walk 2 so far this game. Strike 2 as Garrick pulls ahead in the pitch count 0-2. The windup, and that ball is outside for 2-1 pitch count. This is a pretty crucial situation for Garrick, who has the tying runs on the bases. As he's going to throw, and he's going to get his second strike to even the count 2-2.
1 strike away from getting out of this bases loaded jam.
Windup, and that ball is going to be swung at, and shortstop is going to be there to get the out. It was fly to Brendan Gilbreth for a 6-3 putout, as we will head into the top of the 5th inning with a Fayetteville with a 7-4 lead.
All right, stay with us, everybody.
The University Interscholastic League would like to thank its corporate sponsors. Without the generous support of these sponsors, many UIL activities would not be possible. The UIL gives special thanks to the Army National Guard, Baden, Balfour, Baylor Scott and White, Dairy Max, Dairy Queen, Ford, Fox Sports Southwest, Gatorade, Hellas Construction, Max Preps, the NFHS Network, Nike, Register My Athlete, Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, and Tick-A-Tap Ticketing. These generous corporate sponsors support the UIL in all its activities, music, academics, and athletics. The UIL appreciates these sponsors and their participation in all that the UIL does in Texas extracurricular activities. On behalf of the UIL and its corporate sponsors, thank you for supporting UIL activities in your community, and thank you for listening to this state playoff contest. Enjoy the game.
We go to the top half of the 5th inning. That was an eventful inning, the 4th, as Fayetteville, who was down 2-0, scores 7, but Bartlett comes back in their half inning to score 2. So as we move into the 5th, it is 7-4. The Bulldogs get within striking distance, as we will lead off in this inning with Brendan Gilbreth, Cole Mao, and Lyle Missy for the Lions to start the 5th.
Yeah, so Chris Luna back out on the mound. And as you mentioned, Brendan Gilbreth will come up to bat. He walked. He's 0 for 1. Walked in the 4th inning. And what was good about that last inning for Bartlett is
in the 7th spot, number 4.
it minimized the chances of the Fayetteville being able to run roll right here, because now they have to score 7 runs.
Right.
7
And I think if you ask Coach Yeager, that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is the W, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So they're going to be looking to get some more runs here, as that ball is going to be outside for a 1-0 pitch count. The bottom of this order has all scored for Fayetteville so far.
This is really the part of the lineup that started the last inning rally.
Luna came in last inning, and the pitch count's now 1-1.
Now, one thing we don't have access to is to know how many pitches that Chris Luna has.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he started and went 4 innings and threw a lot of pitches on Thursday night.
So we don't know how long we're going to be seeing him in here, but pitch count's now 2-1. And that ball's going to be hit to shortstop for a 6-3 put out for the Bartlett Bulldogs, as Cole Mao will now come up to bat for the Lions.
Down here at the top of the 5th, number 12, Colt Mao up to bat.
So far, Chris Luna has only faced 4 batters. He got the final 2 outs last inning for Bartlett. So as long as he doesn't have an outrageous inning, he may be able to go another inning or so. That's going to be a swing and a miss for for Cole Mao. Wow, Missy on deck for the Lions. That ball's going to be over his head for ball 1. 1-1 pitch count. Wind up, and that ball's going to be strike 2 for Chris Luna, who we have seen strike out a lot of batters in the last 2 games we've seen him pitch in. And the windup, and that pitch is going to be fouled off. Pitch count remains at 1-2. 1 out on the board for the Lions here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
You know, looking at the weather, this would be about as best as you could expect, given
Top of the 5th inning, I should say.
the forecast that we had. So hopefully, if we need to play 2, we'll still have that ability today.
That ball's outside for ball 2 to even the pitch count. Yeah, I was expecting a lot worse weather-wise, so I'm glad it's kind of simmered down. Chris Luna taking a minute. This is a crucial at bat for Luna, who's hoping, to retire probably all 3 Fayetteville Lions. That ball's he's just gonna miss the strike zone, make it a full count.
Cole Mao is a 265 hitter for the year, and as we mentioned, he's batted .333 in the playoffs.
That ball's going to be fouled back into the net. As Mao's working it.
That's right. That's what you like to see out of your players, sort of up their game during playoff time.
So, I'm just going to go in for a windup, and that ball is going to be ball 4. As Cole Mao will take first base. That's Chris Luna's first walk of the game. And Lyle Missy, who has walked both at bats so far today, is going to come in for the Lions. So that 7-run inning in the 4th has put Fayetteville in pretty good shape right now. Ball's going to be outside as, well, Missy was showing bunt.
Well, any run here would be great to pick up. Insurance.
That ball's going to almost hit Missy, but just missed him. He kind of dodged it.
That crossed up the catcher, Roy DeGallato. Got off his glove. We're going to rule that a wild pitch, and the runner's going to go down to second base.
So pitch counts at 2-0. 1 out, runner in scoring position for Lyle Missy. Luna's outside once again for 3-0 pitch count. Reed Kabala waiting on deck. Luna with the windup, and that pitch is going to be outside for his second consecutive walk this inning. Lyle Missy will take first base.
Back to the top of the lineup, number 9, Reed Kabala.
Reed Kabala now up for the Lions.
Kabala's 2 for 3. Has driven in a run, single twice, struck out once.
And scored one of the runs in the 4th inning. So Kabala enters into the situation, 1 out, runner still on second here in the top of the 5th inning. Ball's going to be in the dirt for ball 1.
No dirt.
I know, I was going to say, how did I say that? In the ground, I guess.
Into the turf.
Yeah,
Right?
into the turf. So, and runners on first and second, I should say. So that ball's going to be up high that time for ball 2. This is kind of what Fayetteville does. They kind of ease into a game, and then they can really strike. And when they strike hard. Well, it's going to be first strike for Luna this at bat to make the pitch count 2-1. And swing and a miss to even the pitch count 2-2.
If you just joined us, it's 7-4, Fayetteville over Bartlett. And we're in the top of the 5th.
Luna is doing a good job of keeping these base runners put for the most part. Swing and a miss as Luna will get his 3rd strikeout so far since coming into the game in the 4th inning. So that will be the 2nd out for Fayetteville as Damon Garrett comes up to bat with the runners on first and second. Scott Bates having a talk with Desmond this time.
Well, I think that what's going to happen here is he's going to have to.
Was it a pitch count thing?
Yeah.
Desmond is now. Is that Desmond?
It's number 5. Yeah, he's going to come back into the ball game.
Yeah, they're going to bring Desmond back in. I guess Luna is done.
Back on the mound for the Bulldogs, Desmond Lopez.
So I guess Luna is going to go back out to shortstop, and probably Medina will go back over to second base. So while we've got a minute and a pitching change, we'll be back.
2 outs on the board. Number 11, Damon Garrett.
All right, we go back to action. The original starter is now the reliever. Desmond Lopez is in the ballgame at pitcher, and here is number 11, Damon Garrett, the batter.
So, still 2 outs for the Lions here in the top of the 5th inning as Lopez is back on the mound. Garrett is 2 for 3 so far today.
Nice hit up the middle, right?
Going with a base hit up the middle. It's going to score 1 run, and there's going to be a runner situation. I think
he's tagged out.
Be a tag out. That was Lyle Missy who was tagged out in between 2nd and 3rd.
That's the 8th run to score.
Colmau scored the 8th run. But that retires the inning for Bartlett with just a 1-run damage. So 8-4 as we will head into the bottom of the 5th inning. That run is going to count against Chris Linus.
All right, John Askins and Tara Dreyer back with more action. That was sort of an eventful half inning. The Lions are able to push another run across to push their lead back out to 8-4. And we'll go to the bottom of the 5th in the order for the Bulldogs. It'll be 5, 6, and 7, Chris Hall, Daniel Juarez, and Adam Davalos.
Yeah, so Damon Garrett returning onto the mound for the Lions. He's so far been pretty dominant for the Lions, only surrendering 5 hits, 4 runs.
Lions scored 7 runs in the top of the 4th, and then a single run in the top of the 5th to take this 8-4 lead.
So that gave Garrett a good cushion to work with, although he did surrender 2 more runs last inning. After going into that inning with a 7-2 lead, then it became 7-4. But Chris Hall now up to bat for Bartlett. It's number 11. Derek's going to get ahead in the pitch count 0-2 to start things off. That ball's going to be just outside for 1-2 pitch count. Chris Hall is so far 0 for 2 today against Garrick. Pitch count now even, 2-2.
Stay with us after the ball game. Tara's going to be interviewing our player of the game, and also we'll talk to head coach Clint Yeager.
And that ball's going to be hit to he's going to be out at first.
That's a nice play. A little confusion over there between Lane Fritch and Gilbreth, but what happened was nice play by Garrett to cover first base to get the out.
Yes.
After 1 out, we got number 10, Daniel Juarez.
So Daniel Juarez comes up to bat for Bartlett. He's 0 for 2 so far after striking out in the 4th inning. got out in the second inning on a 1-3 put out. Derek with the windup, and this ball is going to be swung at, and shortstop is going to be there to get the 6-3 put out as the Lions are kind of breezing through this 5th inning.
Well, after the last, at bats for Bartlett, this is music to the ears of Damon Garrett.
Yeah, he almost went through the whole entire lineup last inning.
We got number 31.
So that's going to bring
Davalos.
Adam Davalos up to bat for Bartlett, the junior first baseman. And he's going to swing and miss for Garrett to stay on top of this pitch count 0-1. Davalos so far is 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch last inning, and that ball is going to be in the ground to even the pitch count 1-1. But Davalos started things off last inning after getting hit by a pitch. Ended up scoring a run. 2-1 is the pitch count. Ball's going to be outside as Garrett falls behind 3-1. And that ball's going to get by him, but it was ball 4 regardless. So Davalos will take first base.
Taking on the 8th spot, we have number 4,
As Sebastian Luna will come up to bat for the Lions, for the Bulldogs, make that.
After striking out his first trip up, Adam Davalos has gotten on 2 straight times with a walk after being hit by a pitch.
So this brings up Luna, who falls behind in the pitch count 0-1. Luna 1 for 2 today, scored a run. Left-hander. And that ball is going to be low for a 1-1 pitch count. Garrett working with the 8-4 lead, and that ball is going to be swung out and missed. 1-2.
Austin Gilbunt, who's had a pretty good game at the plate, waits on deck. We'll get that far.
Yeah, he's 2 for 2 so far, and that ball is going to barely miss hitting him to even the pitch count 2-2.
Well, this is a problem that Damon has. We talked a little bit about it earlier this week. You know, he just gets out of rhythm, gets out of his zone, and I asked him how he gets back in the zone, and he just said he just got to keep chopping wood.
Yeah. And that ball's going to be swung at and missed for the final out of the game. One runner will get left stranded for Bartlett as 0 runs were scored, 0 hits were surrendered. And we're moving into the top of the 6th inning as Fayetteville has an 8-4 lead.
All right, stay with us, everybody. All right, we move in the top half of the 6th inning. I want to tell you a little bit about C.H. Harvey, the CEO of TFE Company. He's looking for good CNC machinists. If you're interested in maybe trying to get into the oil business, they're looking for veterans and trainees at TFE Company in Brenham. What you want to do is give C.H. Harvey a call at 979-836 6111, or drop by the location at 1311 US 290 West in Brenham. And if you've ever thought about getting into the oil business, give them a call at TFE Company in Brenham. All right, we move to the top of the 6th inning. It'll be Braden Rohde, Peyton Hemmett, and Jacob Schley against the starter and reliever Desmond Lopez. And the first pitch is hit out to the third baseman Al Garcia. He's going to have a tough time tracking down Braden Rohde. He beats it out for an infield single with that speed of his. For Braden, that's his second hit of the ball game. He tripled and knocked in 2 his last trip up. So in addition to him getting on first base, he's going to be a candidate to go and try and steal the base. Here's Peyton Hemmett, who has had a nice afternoon at the plate. He's 2 for 3. Struck out his last trip up. Lopez is going to try and keep Rohde a little bit at bay, but Braden has stolen 19 of 20 bases this year.
Hemmett is 2 for 3 so far today.
On deck will be Jacob Schley. If we get that far, and the next pitch is down low. Fayetteville on top, 8-4. They were shut out for the first 3 innings and then exploded for 7 runs in the top of the 4th. Bartlett came back and scored 2 in the bottom of the 4th, but then Fayetteville scored a single. And here's Rohde down to second base easily with the stolen base. So that is Braden's 20th stolen base of the year.
Always does a good job of putting himself in scoring position.
It's got to be a little bit different. He went head first on that turf out there. Maybe he might get a rug burn on his chest there. And it wouldn't be beyond Braden to go to third either. Here's the next pitch to Hemmett.
Which they're looking for that now. And the thing about Rohde, he's also kind of helped Peyton Hemmett's stats, who has 26 RBIs, I believe, probably because he's in scoring position a lot of the times.
You're exactly right.
For Peyton.
Hemmett has 2 doubles, and he also leads the team with 7 times he's gotten on via the errors. So in the ROE category, he leads that team with 7. Here's the pitch by Lopez, popped up, out of play. Count is 2-2. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Braden Rohde has singled and stolen a base to get in the scoring position. Next pitch is a curveball outside, and it's 3-2.
Hemmett's looking for his first RBI of the game. He hasn't had much opportunity to drive any runners in so far until now.
Here's the pitch. Swung on, hammered out to the shortstop. I'd like to see that on replay, but Luna gets a 6 unassisted put out on Braden Rohde for the first out of the inning. On the fielder's choice, Hemmett is going to remain at first, and we'll probably have Stuart Castro. He comes out as the designated runner. That'll bring up Jacob Schley. Schley is 0 for 3 this afternoon. Make it 0 for 2 because he did have a sacrifice and an RBI his last trip up on a nice play. Runner at first. As we mentioned, Castro is a pretty good base runner. He has a stolen base. Eight stolen bases this year for Stewart. Next pitch by Lopez inside, and it catches the black, and it's called strike. Eight to 4, Fayetteville over Bartlett in Game 2 of the regional quarterfinal playoff series. Next pitch is hammered out to our right. Foul. So if Fayetteville is able to hold on here in the next 2 frames and close out this win, they'll take the series 2-0. Desmond Lopez comes in, outside, way outside. Schley has got his batting average up to .321 on the season and flicks another little foul ball down the right side. Lions came in with a .306 team batting average. They've upped it against Bartlett. They're batting .435. In Thursday's game, they all had singles. And here's a grounder to the shortstop. Luna, he's going to fall down, no play. That's going to be an infield single. So there's runners at first and second. Castro is going to go into second, and then
on first and second. We have number 2.
Schley remains at first, and here is number 2, Lane Fritch.
That was Schley's first hit of the game.
Fritch has walked twice and struck out. He scored a run back in the 4th inning. Nice block by Roy DeGallardo to keep the runners from advancing. Next pitch is high, around the eyebrows. It's 2-0. So Hammett came back in the ball game. He's at second, and Jacob Schley is at first.
Yeah, that's one thing about Hammett is he has some stolen bases this season.
Here's the pitch, down low, nice block by DeGallardo. Brendan Gilbreth awaits with one down. Next pitch is ball 4, so the bases now are loaded. Schley goes to second, and Lane Fritch trots to first.
Bases loaded for up to bat number 4, Brendan Gilbert.
So Gilbert's stepping into a situation where he can get some RBIs right here with just 1 out. Bases juiced.
Brendan batting .250 in the playoffs. He's 0 for 2 officially. 8-4 the score. We're in the top half of the 6th inning. Fayetteville on top of Bartlett. But the Lions trying to get some more insurance runs here. Pitch is popped up to see if anybody's got a play. First baseman calls it, and Adam Davalos gloves it. And so Brendan Gilbert is retired F3 for the 2nd out of the inning. But that still leaves the bases loaded.
Yeah, so that's going to bring Cole Mal up to bat.
2 down, bases still loaded. Number 12, Cole Mao up to bat.
1 for
1 for 2 with a single and 2 runs scored today. Last time he walked and scored, was aided by a wild pitch, and then back in the 4th inning he singled and scored. So Desmond Lopez is in a jam. He goes from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Swung on, driven out in the right field, but the play is made out there by Sebastian Luna, who had him defensed very nicely. On the F9 is the 3rd out of the inning.
They get out a bases loaded situation.
But the Lions score, well, no, they didn't score. So it's on that unassisted putout that erased 1 runner. So no runs. There were 3 left on base. There were no errors, and in that inning for the Lions, there were 2 hits. So after 5.5 innings of play, it's Fayetteville 8, Bartlett 4.
Leading off the bottom of the 7th, we have number 7, Austin Gilbunt.
All right, we move to the bottom of the 6th inning for Bartlett. In the bottom of the 6th, it'll be 9 and then back to 1-2 in the order. Austin Gilbunt will be the leadoff hitter here against Damon Garrett, who enters the bottom of the 6th with an 8-4 lead. Gilbunt's been a great offensive performer this afternoon. He's singled twice and scored 2, stolen 2 bases. First pitch is fouled off to the left side, and he's behind in the count 0-1. Again, stay with us after the game. We'll talk to head coach Clint Yeager, and we'll have our star of the game. Little breaking pitch popped out into center field. It's not going to be played out there. It'll be a base hit. Just Rhodey couldn't run it down.
That was a long run for Rhodey.
That's 3 for 3 by the number 9 batter in the lineup.
We have our leadoff, number 16.
Good production.
Yeah, Gilbunt's actually had 4 hits this series, so he's brought it.
Here's another performer that's had 2 hits. He's 2 for 3. Is Chris Luna. He has an RBI, and the first pitch is a call strike. 8-4, Fayetteville over Bartlett. Damon Garrett still on the mound, and the next pitch is hammered out into left field. Nice play by Reed Kabbalah. The runner was breaking, but now he's going to have to retreat back to first base. So 1 down on the F7, and that'll bring up Richard Medina.
1 down, runner still at first. We have number 3, Richard Medina at the bat.
Medina is 1 for 2. He also has walked and stolen 2 bases. He singled his last trip up. First pitch, and the runner's going to go. Here's the throw down by Hemet, and he almost had him out there, but at the last minute the ball came out of the shortstop's glove, and so that's going to be a stolen base. 3rd stolen base of the ball game by Austin Gilbunt. So he's in scoring position. The Bulldogs down by 4, looking for runners and runs. Here's the pitch to Medina. Ground ball to the second baseman, Lane French, and 4-3 over to first base for the second out. The runner moves to third. Gilbunt goes over to the 3rd sack. 2 down. Here is pitcher Desmond Lopez.
Third, Desmond Lopez, number 5.
Who has got a perfect game today. He sacrificed and knocked in a run. He was also hit by a pitch, stole a base, and walked. The first pitch is a call, strike 1. So he's done just about most of the things you can possibly do in a baseball game. Al Garcia is on deck. Here's a wild pitch, gets away from Hemet, and a run is going to score. That's probably the biggest problem for Damon Garrett is his wildness, and this time it does cost him.
Yeah,
And
when-
it's 8-5.
When you get into these deeper rounds of playoffs, that can be a costly mistake.
That's right. So it's Fayetteville on top still 8-5, but Bartlett cuts it by a run. Here's the one strike pitch. On the batter, Desmond Lopez. Nobody on now. Swung on and missed. Sun pretty much breaking through the clouds now. Next offering is down low. Damon's going to go from the full windup. And it's ball 4. So Bartlett's still battling here with 2 down. They put another base runner aboard.
Al Garcia.
That's going to be Garrett's just 4th walk of the game.
And here's number 33, Al Garcia, the sophomore. He has been hit by a pitch, and he's 0 for 2 officially.
Ilian Garza.
He's still looking for his first hit in the playoff series. Runner aboard, 2 outs. Garrett likes to make him stay a little bit closer to the bag. Here's the pitch, popped up, out of play. Garrett comes home, way outside. It's 2-1. Chris Hall awaits on deck if we get that far, but there's 2 outs.
Yeah. Hall's another one looking for his first hit this game.
Here's the delivery. Swung on out to center field, and that is Braden Ruddy out there awaiting it. So the F8 retires the side. There was 1 run on 1 hit. There was no errors and 1 left on base. After 6 full innings of play, it's 8-5. Fayetteville over Bartlett. Stay with us. All right, we move to the top half of the 7th inning. Fayetteville still enjoys an 8-5 lead.
Your second leadoff, number 10, Lyle Bissett.
We'll sort of try and bring you up to date as we close out the ball game on what the bracket is as far as the Region 2 and 4 in Class A. It's Region 4 is going to be paired up against Region 2, so the winner of this ball game is going to play either Medina or D'Hanis. First couple of outings were pretty good for the pitching staff. For the Lions, today has been a little bit more of a struggle for Damon Garrett, but Lopez is back out there for the Bulldogs.
The offense really came through for Garrick in the 4th inning with 7 runs, and like we said, Lyle Misty's going to be our player of the game.
Lyle's the batter here in the top half of the 7th inning, and he has been on base all 3 times. Make that all. I don't know how you avoided from being hit by that pitch.
Yeah.
I think it went behind him.
For someone in the very bottom of the order, we feel like he's done an excellent job. Drawn 3 walks so far.
Yeah.
Scored 1 run.
Here's the next pitch. Swung on, foul back. Lyle came in only batting 102 on the year, but he has scored a run and walked 3 straight times.
Here he shows patience at the plate.
Swung on and popped up. Let's see who's got it. Looks like Luna is going to come over from shortstop and glove it. And so on the F6 putout, that's the first out of the inning. Top of the 7th. Insurance runs would certainly be good.
Number 9, Reed Kabbalah.
Yeah, because this Bartlett offense has shown that they can, strike as well. And going into the bottom of the 7th inning in a do-or-die situation, more than 3 runs would be ideal.
Here's Reed Kabbalah, who has gotten on base twice this afternoon via singles, and he struck out twice. So he's
2 for 2?
2 for 4.
2 for 4, I mean. 2 for 2 in hits.
Reed has an RBI to go with 3 that he had Thursday night, so that's 4 against the Bulldogs. It's the 0-1 delivery, and he sort of bluffs a bunt, but pulls it back. It's outside. Lopez rocks back, and here's a solid hit out into left field for Reed Kabbalah, his 3rd of the afternoon.
So that's going to be the 8th hit that the top 3 in the lineup have produced in this game off of Bartlett.
Here's Damon Garrick, who's 3 for 4, has 3 RBIs. He is singled 3 times and popped out to the right fielder. Braden Rohde also waits on deck. Garrett came in batting .365 to start the game.
He's had 23 runs this season, 19 hits, 17 RBIs.
And like you have said before, Tara, the top of the lineup does the damage for the Lions.
Yeah, 8 hits so far this game, 3 runs, 5 RBIs.
Pitch gets away from the catcher, Degollado, and the runner is going to advance stolen base for Reed Kabbalah. So it'd be nice to push across a couple more runs here, as Fayetteville only leads 8-5. In a game like this, you don't want to give the team that has last at bats too much fuel to work with. Next pitch is outside. And we do actually have some patches of blue. The north wind has come in and whip the flags around and chase some of these clouds away. Here's the next pitch. Call strike.
Lopez has had to do a lot for this team. as far as pitching through a significant amount of innings this game.
Lopez comes home. It's down low, and it's ball 4. So Damon Garrick walks to put runners at first and second. And here comes Braden Rohde, who's tripled today, driven in 2, stolen a base. He's 2 for 4.
Rohde's triple kind of is what really did a lot of damage there in the 4th inning, scoring the final 2 runs of that inning.
And it looks like Desmond Lopez is probably going to run out of pitches, and they're going to have to make another pitching change.
I was thinking that was going to be the case. He's had to really work hard this game.
Rohde will be the batter, and Peyton Hemmett will be up. And stay with us, everybody. We'll be back after this.
Now pitching for your Bartlett Bulldogs, number 33, Al Garcia.
All right, John Anskins and Tara Dreyer back. We're right in the middle of action in the top of the 7th inning. Fayetteville is on top 8-5, but they have put a couple of runners on base. Al Garcia now has had to come on in relief of Desmond Lopez because of the pitch count.
So the task at hand for Garcia is a tough one because Rohde is the team's leading batter for the Lions.
Braden Rohde is the batter. Al Garcia is coming on in relief, and I was just sort of looking at the order here. Desmond Lopez opened the game as a starting pitcher. Then he came out. Chris Luna relieved him, and then Luna ran out of pitches, and then so Desmond Lopez had to come in and relieve himself, and now he's run out of pitches, and Al Garcia is going to take over. In these high school games, the pitchers are limited to 110 pitches in a series. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the other games around the region. A game that was taking place today, Medina was playing D'Hanis at noon. The Hannes had beaten Medina 3-1. So they control that playoff series. And then let's take a look at the Region 2.
Runners on first and second, number 14.
Because we really haven't talked much about them, and that's who this bracket is going to be paired up against in the state playoffs. Today, Abbott and Avalon are playing in Whitney, and Savoy and Dodge City are playing in Sherman. And those are some teams that will be paired up against. First pitch to Rohde is hammered out to right field. Nice play by Sebastian Luna. So Braden Rohde is retired on the F9. That's the second out of the inning. And it'll bring up Peyton Hemmett. So 1 pitch, 1 out. That's a pretty good relief appearance by Al Garcia.
Number 16, Peyton Hemmett.
Hemmett is 2 for 4 coming into this at bat.
Hemmett got his average up to 364 before the ball game. Mm-hmm. 2 runners aboard. Next pitch is way high. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
We hasn't singled since the 3rd inning.
He's batting .500 in the playoffs. It's 3 for 6 with 5 RBIs so far. Garcia comes home. It's high, ball 2. Jacob Schley awaits if we get that far in the inning for the Lions. Garcia goes from the stretch. Swung on and missed. It's 2-1.
Emmett's been one of those guys that's been on base 3 times this game, but hasn't been pushed across the plate.
Fayetteville played in a tough district this year with number 12 Shiner, number 13 Weimer. Pitch gets away from DeGallardo, and the runners are going to advance. It was a nice block, but the ball just got out in front of him. On the wild pitch, both the runners advance.
He's gonna walk.
And the runner now is going to go to first on the bases on balls. So that'll load him up.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. Number 3, Jacob Schley at the bat.
So we'll see if Hemet ends up being stranded for a 4th time, or if Jacob Schley will.
Stuart Castro will come out and take over for him again at first base. And here's Jacob Schley. He singled his last trip up and knocks one right through the middle, but it's nice play out there by Luna. He steps on the bag, and that will end the inning. So again, Fayetteville comes up with no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 3 left on base. So we'll see if 8 runs are enough for the Lions as we go to the bottom of the 7th. It's crunch time for the Bartlett Bulldogs as they trail 8-5.
Coming off the bases loaded jam, leading off the Bartlett Bulldogs in the bottom of the 7th inning, we have number 33. All
right, we go to the bottom half of the 7th inning for the Bartlett Bulldogs. It's 5, 6, and 7 in the order for Bartlett. It is Chris Hall, Daniel Juarez, and Adam Davalos against Damon Garrett, who looks to go the distance. His first pitch is strike 1.
Chris Hall is 0 for 4 so far today. 0 for 3, I'm sorry.
Damon has allowed 7 hits. Next pitch is swung on, and it's 0-2.
He's only struck out 2 today, which is unusual. Normally he's a little more in the zone as far as striking out batters.
Nobody on, just the beginning of the bottom of the 7th. Garrett goes from the full windup. If Fayetteville can hang on, they'll move into the next round, the regional semifinals. Call strike 3. Big strikeout to start out the inning. 1 down, and then I'll bring up Daniel Juarez, number 10. Daniel is 0 for 3.
Number 10, Daniel Juarez.
He has struck out once against Garrett. On deck is Adam Davalos, the first baseman, the first pitch. Hammered down to the second baseman, Lane Fritz. He's going to throw over to Gilbreth for the quick second out. Score it 4-3.
Batting for the Bartlett Bulldogs, number 31.
Some time is running out for Bartlett, who Adam Davalos has to do something here in order to keep the Bulldogs alive.
Davalos has struck out, been hit by a pitch, and walked. He scored a run back in the 4th. And Damon Garrett deals. It's outside, ball 1. Just joined us. It's Fayetteville 8, Bartlett 5. Here's a delivery down low. And it's 1-1. Two outs, nobody on. Damon Garrett to the home plate, swung on and missed. It's 1-2. Damon's had one 1-2-3 inning. That was back in the second.
So he's had to work pretty hard through this game as well on the mound.
Next pitch is down low, and it's 2-2. Sebastian Luna on deck if he gets a chance for the Bartlett Bulldogs. They trail by 3 here with 2 outs. Here's a rock back and delivery down low. And Garrett's going to run the count all the way out. Well, that is ball 4, and that'll be a base on balls, and it'll bring up Luna.
It's just Garrett's 5th walk so far this game.
8-5 Fayetteville over Bartlett, but
Now there's a runner on board.
they're not giving up without a fight here. 2 outs, and they've got a runner at first, and Sebastian Luna, number 4, will be the batter.
Luna 1 for 3 today.
And what has happened, I believe, is Damon Garrett has run out of pitches.
Oh, okay.
And so Coach Yeager is going to have to take him out. And let's see who is pitching.
Number 3.
That's
It's going to be Jacob Schley.
Now pitching for your Fayetteville Lions, number 3, Jacob Schley.
all right. And it's a save situation, right? Down by 3 runs.
Yeah. So he's technically closing.
Right. So that's something that all the coaches, and the teams have to watch. They have an official pitch counter. And so Damon Garrett gets 1 out away from a complete game.
Well, as a big fan of pro baseball, one of the things I like is a bullpen. And now I kind of like the fact that this pitch count thing has kind of forced teams to sort of maybe put together, closers and things like that at the high school level.
Well, when you're talking about Class A baseball, I mean, it's not quite that easy to find arms, but Schley has gotten into action this year earlier. While we're talking here, let me see if I can pull his stats up real quick. Of course, not real quick.
Yeah, so
Jacob has been in, let's see here. He's pitched 10 2/3 innings of baseball this year. And he's given up 22 earned runs.
okay, so that makes things a little interesting.
Yes.
Here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Yes, if I was Bartlett, I'd like to see this
2 outs with
pitching
the runner
change.
on first, approaching the box for the Bartlett Bulldogs, number 4, Sebastian Luna.
Now he's only looking to get one out.
Schley has been in 7 games. He's 0-3 with a 14.44 ERA. So the defense needs to step up here. Here's Sebastian Luna with a 1 runner aboard at first base, and there's 2 down. Fayetteville on top, 8-5. And Jacob Schley comes home, and it's a call, strike 1. Peyton Hemmett is going to move from catcher to shortstop, and Garrett will take over behind the home plate. Next pitch is outside, and it's 1-1. Sebastian Luna, the batter, with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Austin Gilbutt, who is a perfect 3 for 3, is on deck. So it's not over. Here's the next pitch. Outside, ball 2.
So I'm assuming that Hemmett was in a situation where he can't come in and get the final out?
Actually, I think he could pitch, but so far, Coach Yeager has not elected to do that. Here's the next pitch. Curveball. And it's ball 3. I think you have to really, look at each player individually, and some coaches just don't want to use a player that much. Next pitch is ball 4. So this is getting interesting. The Bartlett Bulldogs are down by 2.
Your second leadoff for the Bartlett Bulldogs, number 7.
Down by 3, and the first 2 runners of this inning are on, and they're at second and first.
And now Bartlett's hottest hitter is coming up to bat, who's gone 3 for 3 today, and Austin Gilbert.
First pitch from Sly is a breaking pitch, call strike 1. So don't go away, folks. It's a 3-run ball game. 8-5, Fayetteville on top of Bartlett. Jacob Schley has come on in relief. Curveball swung on and missed. That's a nice little hook. I think I'd throw that again. Austin Gilbun, a senior, with 2 runners in front of him. Schley comes home plate. He does throw it again, and it hits the, well, let's see. They're going to call it a foul, I think. Looks like it just ticked his bat a little bit. Fayetteville 8, Bartlett 5.
1 strike away.
Jacob Schley to home plate. Foul back at us. It's still 0-2. Bartlett down to its possibly last strike. And if I was Schley, I'd just keep throwing that same breaking pitch. Here's the pitch. He does, and here's a grounder, and it's going to roll foul. Gloved out there by Cole Mal, but just foul. So we'll redial it. 2 runners aboard, 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the 7th.
2 strikes.
Bartlett is down by 3. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Jacob Schley. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. So Schley comes in to get that big final 3rd out, and Fayetteville advances with an 8-5 win over Bartlett to take the series 2-0. And the starter and winner was Damon Garrett. He wins his 4th game of the year. And Tara will be headed down to talk to Coach Yeager, and we'll have a guest and the coach up here in the press box, and we'll come back and wrap it up. Stay with us.
Register my athlete.
We want to thank both sides for coming out today. Final score of Fayetteville 8, Bartlett 7 to end this series. Thanks again to both sides for coming out and coming out to Eastview High School.
The University Interscholastic League would like to thank its corporate sponsors. Without the generous support of the sponsors, UIL activities would not be possible. UIL gives special thanks to the Army National Guard, Bodley, Balfour, Baylor Scott and White, Dairy Max, Dairy Queen, Ford, Fox Sports Southwest, Gatorade, Hellas Construction, Max Preps, the NFHS Network, Nike, Register My Athlete, Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, and Tick-A-Tap Ticketing. These generous corporate sponsors support the UIL in all its activities, music, academics, and athletics. The UIL appreciates these sponsors and their participation in all that the UIL does in Texas extracurricular activities. On behalf of the UIL and its corporate sponsors, thank you for supporting UIL activities in your community, and thank you for listening to this state playoff contest. Enjoy the game.
All right, John Askins back at Eastview High School in Georgetown, where Fayetteville has taken an 8-5 win against Bartlett to advance and win their series 2-0 and advance into the next round. Right now, we don't know some of the scores of the other games that are going on, but we'll talk about the bracket here after we have an interview with the head coach and our player of the game. Let's take a look at how we got to this decision. The Fayetteville Lions score 8 runs on 12 hits. They did not commit an error, and they stranded 12 runners on base. The starter and loser for Fayetteville, Bartlett, was Desmond Lopez, who pitched the first 3 innings and was finally knocked out of the ball game during that 7-run inning for Fayetteville. He had to go out. He came back because of the pitch count rule, but he ends up starting and losing the ball game. For Bartlett, they score 5 runs on 7 hits, and there were 8 left on base. And looking at the scorebook, neither team today committed an error, which was good for each side. The starting and winning pitcher for the Fayetteville Lions was Damon Garrett, who goes to 4-1. Damon goes all the way. He goes 6 2/3 innings and gave up the 7 hits and the 5 runs. He had a pretty serviceable outing today, enough to where the offense were able to pick him up. Fayetteville scored 7 runs in the top of the 4th, added another run in the top of the 5th, and made that stand up for this 8-5 win. Some of the hitting stars for Fayetteville today Garrett helped his cause. He went 3 for 4 and had 3 RBIs. Braden Rohde had a 2 RBI triple back in the 4th inning. He was also 2 for 5 and stole a base. And Reed Kabbalah again was outstanding. He was 3 for 5 with 3 base hits and an RBI. And it all adds up to Fayetteville advancing to the next round as they take an 8-5, excuse me, an 8-5 win today here against the Bartlett Bulldogs. Stay with us, everybody. We'll have more in an interview coming up. Yes.
Where, stand here or sit or what?
Let me turn this around. Just sort of stand over here. I'll get you in the frame. Let me turn this around. All right, John Askins back with Tara Dreyer, and here is Coach Clint Yeager with Tara.
Okay, and so obviously you guys kind of got off to a slow start. Y'all are trailing 2-0. We haven't seen that all series. What kind of kept the guys in the game, do you think?
They knew that if we just had more at-bats against their pitcher, we would start working on our timing and getting good at-bats, which we did. We were patient, took some walks. They knew over 7 innings we were going to score some runs. So 2 runs wasn't going to be this.
Yeah, and then tell me more about that 4th inning where y'all came in and y'all scored 7 runs and, you know, made a big statement.
I think everybody played a part, you know. It's all still a blur. The game just happened, but I think, you know, everybody played a part. There were a lot of walks, a lot of key hits, you know, and just everybody refusing to lose.
Yeah, absolutely. And how do you feel about the bottom of your lineup? Obviously, they really came through. They scored 4 runs in this game. They managed 4 walks. Lyle Missy with 3 of those walks.
Yeah, they know that they don't have to get some of the coverage that some of the guys in the top order. Everybody pays attention to 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and because you know you got to pay attention to them.
Yeah.
But these guys will sneak up on you. If you give them a good pitch to hit, they're going to hit it. And they're patient. They will take the ball.
Coach, I wouldn't say that a team that was ahead of the series, 1-0 would be pressing, but it was almost like the batters were almost too aggressive. Did you sort of sense that?
Yeah. It was mainly our timing. We just had to work on the timing and stop trying to pull everything and just have a good approach there. I think so, and it's playoff ball. When it's a close game, the nerves kind of tense up. I don't care if it's the 2nd inning or if you're up 1 game or down 1 game. You can't help it. The nerves are going to get to you a little bit. And so I think once we were able to tie the game up, then it kind of eased them up, ease our nerves, and let us play.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, thank you. Congratulations. See you
Thank
next
you.
week. And
Thank you,
we also
Coach.
have
We
Lyle
appreciate
and
it.
Missy here with us, so I'll go grab him real fast.
All right, so while we get Lyle Missy, our player of the game, up.
Okay, so yeah, we just stand like right here. Yeah,
Here he is.
right here. So
Hey Lyle, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Listen, we wanted to bring you up, and we named you our player of the game because it's been a struggle for you offensively this year, but
Yes, sir.
you always do what it takes to get on base, and you do have a high on base percentage. And today, 3 walks.
Okay, yeah, 3 walks today. So can you tell me a little more about your patience at the plate and your ability to get on for your team?
Well, the first pitch, if it's a strike right down the pipe, I'm gonna take it. Or no, I'm gonna swing at it.
Yeah.
And then, because that's how I always get my hits. And then the next pitch is I look at them, and if they're not down the pipe, I'm not swinging.
Okay, so that's how you drew the 3 walks today. And obviously, this was your first time y'all trailed the whole series, 2-0. What do you think it was that kept y'all in the game, kept y'all, motivated to keep fighting?
Just to win.
Yeah.
We want to win.
Yeah, absolutely. And then what is energy like going into the next round? How excited are you guys to be going, that deep into the playoffs and
Well,
continue?
we're really excited because, we're basically a younger team, and we never got to experience any of this before. So it's all new for us, and we're just excited to finally get to do this before we graduate.
Yeah, and can you tell me a little bit more about the other guys at the bottom of the lineup, and kind of how you feel that you guys contribute to the team? Today y'all had 4 runs, I think, combined, and, did a lot for us today.
The bottom lineup is scrappy.
Yeah.
We'll take anything. We'll do anything to get on base.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, that's all I got for you. Thank you. Congratulations.
That'll sum up the Lions scrappy today as they take an 8-5 win and move on to the next round. Again, right now we don't have the information on who, but we can tell you that as we switch the mic back over here, let's try this one more time. There we go. Right now, the other teams that are alive in the Region 4 bracket are Medina, and is it D'Hanis or D'Hanis? How do you pronounce that?
I think it's
D'Hanis. They are playing this afternoon at Northside High School. I believe that's down in the San Antonio region. And so we'll keep you abreast as what the future is going to be for the Lions. But we'll just sort of wrap it up here from Georgetown, where the Fayetteville Lions take an 8-5 win today and move their record out now to 11-11 on the year. The winner, again, the starter, Damon Garrett. And we'd certainly like to thank everyone over in the administration of the Fayetteville High School, the superintendent, Jeff Harvey, the principal, Bryn Lopez, of course, the AD and baseball coach, Clint Yeager, for all their help and consideration in what we've been doing. And we've been bringing you these games as a public service. And we thank everyone for their support, and hopefully we'll have more action. Stay with us and we'll keep you abreast of what's going on our Facebook page. So for John Askins, I'm John Askins for Tara Dreyer. We'll see you next time.